This is a short explanation about how we're going to be measuring progress at Key Stage 3 for your child at Hillside High School. These are changing times for GCSE education. We've got new measures for schools across the country, and there are brand new GCSE courses coming out each year. All these new GCSE courses have a brand new grading structure which you may or may not be familiar with. We're moving away from lettered grades now, and we now have numbered grades for GCSEs. So your child at the end of their time in year 11 will receive a set of results of numbers rather than lettered grades. This slide explains how the new structure works, and as you can see, the numbered grade system runs from 1 to 9, with 1 being the lowest grade and 9 being the highest grade. To give you an idea of where all the numbers sit, 4 is about equivalent to a grade C at the moment, 9 is obviously equivalent to an A star, and 1 is the lowest grade here. This new change is new for everyone across the country, and obviously it's important that we understand it and we actually look at how we're going to target children's performance and progress to make sure they're fully prepared for the new GCSEs. When we've looked at it at Hillside, we've decided we needed to measure progress in a different way from the past. In the past, we used to set targets and students used to work towards those targets at the end of the year. But now we're actually going to give students a minimum expected grade, a MEG, in each subject. The MEG is going to be based upon the levels that students entered school with from primary school, our knowledge of your child's talents and abilities, and also projections from the Department for Education. But we've added some edge to these minimum expected grades. We've made sure they're more challenging. The Department for Education have identified what average progress they'd expect from your child, but we've added slightly more onto this because we've got high aspirations and we expect more than just the average from your child. The key word with MEGs is minimum. We do expect students to actually be working at or around their MEG at all times. Assessments will be then made throughout the year to inform students, yourselves and the teachers about what grade they're currently working on. If a grade's fallen below their minimum expected grade, then we look at the reasons for it, whether it be issues with understanding or knowledge, or perhaps attitude for learning, and then we look at ways in which we can improve this and make sure that we can get students back on track. If we find a student is consistently achieving more than their minimum expected grade, then we'll obviously review it and actually ensure it's got enough challenge. Our assessment cycle and reporting system has also changed. You will actually receive 4 reports this year, which will tell you what their minimum expected grade is, what your child's current grade is, and also what their attitude for learning is like. Now these 4 windows are November, February, April and June. And you will receive a report which looks similar to this one. In this report you can see for John, he in English has got a minimum expected grade of a 6. His current grade is a 5, so he's 1 off his minimum expected grade, but his attitude for learning is good. So at the moment John is okay in English, and he's only 1 grade off his minimum expected, and things look like they're going well. And obviously as you read down that report, you can see for John actually this report's looking quite good for him, although we'd obviously be a little bit concerned perhaps about his variable attitude for learning in computer science. The minimum expected grades are supported by assessment schemes, and these really give students, yourselves and teachers a clear indication at each window of what sort of skills, knowledge and understanding they need to achieve their minimum expected grade. And these will be available on our website in the next few weeks. There's an example of one I've put on for you, which is for religious studies in assessment window 1. And from this slide you can see what sort of levels we'll be working at and what would be expected from the students to actually get those levels. The way in which we assess your child has also changed. Very much now is the important thing is test-based assessment, and this is because the GCSEs have moved very much to this sort of model where it all hinges really on how the performance of students in an exam situation. So we will be mirroring that throughout Key Stage 3, ensuring that there are exam style tests which will generate the current grades for the students. Where coursework or practical assessment also makes up the final grade at GCSE, this will also be assessed at Key Stage 3 and contribute to the current grades just like it does in the GCSE courses. Obviously it's important that we get students trained up to actually be able to revise properly and have the exam technique and test skills that they'll need at the end of year 11. So this will be challenging for students, but also we'll make sure that they're fully supported with the skills that they need to succeed. We obviously assess attitude for learning, as I showed you earlier in the report, and you'll find there are 4 grades for attitude for learning that teachers will use: outstanding, good, variable and poor. Students are fully aware of what they need to do to achieve these grades, and this slide shows you the sorts of behaviours we expect from students that are considered when students and teachers are deciding upon their final grade for reporting. If you have any questions whatsoever about your child's report or about this system, please don't hesitate to contact your child's progress manager or myself, Mr. Edwards, if you need further information. Thank you.